Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson here for New Month Numerology. And it is February 1, 2026. Michelle, I don't know what happened to January. That was a pretty quick month, but I'm looking forward to February. Thank you so much for being here. Michelle is a board certified life purpose coach, hypnotherapist, and professional numerologist. We're thrilled to have her here with us at the start of every month. Michelle, thank you for being here. You can just start whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Thank you, Ruth. It's going to be maybe a little bit of a longer one, but I think it's packed full of information. And yes, it's February. And I just have to say, if you guys see me shivering, it's 29 degrees in Florida. And we did see flurries. That's absolutely amazing. So I'm not used to this, so I might be shivering a little bit. But just again, buckle your seatbelts because by all accounts, we have a powerhouse month. February is dramatic. Lots of surprise happenings, lots of talks. We're used to that by now, maybe even agreements, but loud disagreements. And I love what world astrology, the gentleman who does world astrology, Dan Waite, what he says is, I love this. Right now, we're watching the emergence of a new world order, or perhaps new world disorder. And that seems pretty appropriate for what's going on. So yes, this is probably one of the most chaotic months, although the caveat here is I think March and April might shake out in a different way, but also pretty powerful. But you know, we'll see about that. Before we get into everything, I just want to say I'm excited that we're doing something different every month here. Besides giving you maybe a little bit of a briefer overview of what's going on in the world, we thought it'd be a good idea if you could get your personal month numerology on this show. So after I go through everything, I will tell you how to arrive at your personal month for February. And believe me, it is really easy peasy. It won't be that hard for you to do. And we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. So, all right. So besides the global numerological and astrological aspects, I'm going to add a little bit of tarot to this. And let's talk briefly about, what we can expect this month, right? Traditionally, February is the number 2 standing alone. And the energy is very feminine. It's about the good side of 2, right? It's about companionship. It's about harmony. It's about balance, or the opposite. So this month we'll have a striving, almost a demand for things to be balanced. And yet we're going to experience a lot of imbalance. We're going to have to deal with this. Things are going to swing from, oh my gosh, it looks like maybe there's going to be harmony, to disharmony. But when you add the number 2 of February to the universal year, which is 1, but very specifically 2026 is a 10, what will you arrive at? You'll arrive at 12. Now, 12 is a very, very significant number. I don't talk about it a lot, but it seems that this is appropriate time to talk about it. The 12 shows up in so many different areas and speaks to its power. So think about it. There's 12 months in a year. There's 12, which symbolizes a full cycle, right? Juries are made up of 12 people. The Greeks worship 12 Olympian gods. There were the 12 labors of Hercules. There were 12 apostles, 12 in a dozen. And I found it really interesting that the word 12 seems to pop up 212 times in the Bible, which I read. There's 12 sons of Jacob, Israel, which form the 12 tribes of Israel. So I tell you that because 12 historically is thought to be a very powerful number, and so it is with this month. When we reduce 12, we arrive at the number 3. So the 1 has a lot of energy. And, when you reduce numbers, you always look at the numbers behind the final number. So we'll talk about 3. And we talked a little bit about 2, and the 1 is striking out, and that could be physically, emotionally, and it's just like striking out, making your voice heard, saying, hey, I want this, or I don't want this. And then we have the 2, which is saying, okay, fine, you can strike out, and you can have your voice heard, but we have to come to some compromise. It's way too much. And then we arrive at the number 3. So February has the number 1, 2, 3 at work. And what I find interesting in the sequence, 1 is male, 2 is female, and 3 is birth. So what are we going to birth to this month? Well, there's so much to say about 3. And on the bright side of this, one of my favorite numbers, not just because it's my life path number, because on the high side, 3 actually means joy. It means creative expression. It means words. It means communication. It means youth. So all of those topics, those areas are going to be in the news, and it is beauty and beautiful things. It is attached to glamour or glamorous or famous people, especially with the I'm flipping a little bit to the astrological side of it, but especially with the strong Leo and Aquarius influence this month. So we'll be hearing things from the entertainment field as well. Okay, so all of those things are good, and writing and new things coming out. However, when the 3 is operating negatively, and all numbers, I always remind people, it depends on where or where our energy is coming from collectively, what we're drawing to us. So there's no doubt in my mind, we're going to be drawing some really good things from the 3. And conversely, we're going to be drawing a lot of the challenges. So what are the challenges, or what happens when it's operating negatively? Well, it means deceit. It means miscommunication. It means a lot of empty, mindless chatter and talking. It means going from one thing to another, like a shell game, wasting energy, scattering energy. So we're going to witness all of those aspects this month. But what I do want to look at is the number 12 in the tarot, and that gives us a lot of information as well. And I was looking for the 12 card to hold up for you, and I couldn't find it, but I flipped through it pretty quickly. So I'll just tell you about it. So the number 12 in the tarot is hanged man. Now, could it literally mean hanging? Well, I suppose so, and let's hope not. But that's not really the traditional interpretation of the hangman. But I got to tell you, it's amazing the images in a tarot and what it can bring about. So with that 12, I kind of had this image of people in the streets. I mean, this is an exaggeration, but carrying torches. And scary as that is, what it seemed like is so much protesting, and very loud, very loud. But if you look at the image, and I'm so sorry I don't have it up here for you to look at, but the hangman looks pretty peaceful because he is upside down and he's got a huge halo around his head. And the important part also of the hangman is he's surrendered. He's just let go of resistance. And it also means letting go of old bad habits, letting go of the bad, of the negative, letting go of the need to control. And he also says, okay, so this is what you have to let go of, but you need to have patience. The other thing that I love about the hangman is this upside down position. So what does that tell you? Um, and again, the images are so full of in, interpretations, and are so full of messages. But when he's hanging upside down like that, it suggests that we need to see things from a new perspective in order to gain clarity. And that's just part of the energy, the need for us to see things clearly, but also demanding to see things clearly in order to gain clarity. So I'm just going to throw in, we haven't and we won't have for a long time. Here, the end. It's like Jeffrey Epstein's been resurrected or something, because I know we're hearing a lot about him, but we're going to hear even more stuff is going to come out. We're going to hear a lot of, you know, defiance of why are so many things redacted? What are we going to see? So a lot of that is still going to be coming out this month, very much so. And then we also have the third card of the tarot, the Empress. Now, the Empress is very much a feminine card, like the two, but it's mirrored in the number 2 of February. Because when you look at the Empress card, it's about beauty, a beautiful surrounding. She's relaxed. She's enjoying her lush, lavish garden. Interestingly, I found, along with this 12, when I was doing some research and I was looking at the card, and I go, oh my goodness, there's 12 stars on her crown. So the Empress, on another hand, suggests a time of growth and luxury. And that's probably kind of hard for us to swallow right now. Really? But what she does is, going deeper into these interpretations, she's promising, along with the hangman of having patience, she promises breakthroughs. Maybe not right now, maybe some small breakthroughs right now, but eventually have patience. And there is also very, very much a need to embrace your feminine side. And I'm asking men to please do that. Embracing your feminine side, the nurturing side, and the feminine side of the card and the energy is about harmony and compromise, coming to an understanding. And she reminds us also to have joy and to enjoy the physical side of life. And if you can do that, you can send out more, raise your vibration this month, send out positive energy. It can be a very, very creative time this month too. So it's very loud, it's very noisy February, but there's going to be things popping up, new discoveries, new creations. It can be across the board, whether that's medicine, that's definite technology, also in the entertainment field. And I got to steal a line from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and I don't know if Young was with them when they wrote this, from a song from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, calling us to get back from Woodstock. We have to get back to the garden because we are so far away from that life sustaining energy right now. So I have to say, we're going to be experiencing some beautiful moments as well as some startling moments. And the number 3 also calls for us finding our voice, or finding your voice, expressing your thoughts and feelings. There is a very, very strong creative energy this month that, if you want to tap into that, can give you a lot of new insight, new ideas, new discovery. So a lot of talking going on. Some of it actually is going to try to reach agreements or harmony, but there's also a lot of, which I'm not telling anybody anything new, a continuation of this anger and demands. There also can be, and I'm not sure how this can happen, but there could be a regime change or something, again, a leader stepping down or being taken down. There's some of that energy there. Also, I think China and Japan, some changes with China and Japan. Even the Japanese, I think, might be um, demanding some changes. There's a lot going on, and it has to do with words and, just finding your voice and people saying no more. I'm going to go through briefly. Oh, wanted to touch base about Neptune. So we're kind of finishing up these karmic patterns. That's what's happening this year because of the planets, the way they're changing. It's just amazing, and how many planets are going to be together. And there are a lot of forcing of changes. They're saying the universe is saying enough is enough. So when Neptune is in the later degrees of Pisces, which it has been, although it's changing, it has a lot to do with water. And I was thinking, wow, yeah. And we've had nothing but flooding, crazy weather that we've been experiencing. That's Neptune and Pisces. That's water. And of course, snowstorms. And here we are in Florida with 29 degrees. That's intense. But Neptune has now changed signs into Aries, and that is significant. And Saturn will be changing signs to Aries. And that hasn't happened in quite a while. And we'll talk about that. So today, the first and the second, what do we have? We have a full moon in Leo. We have a sun in Aquarius opposite a moon in Leo. And this is the dynamic duo for sure. I don't know what's happening beneath the surface, but something is, because this is individual expression. It's pride, it's courage. Leo, the lion, it's courage, and it's collective belonging for the greater good, which is Aquarius. So I kind of love these two together. Leo and Aquarius really go pretty well together. In fact, yeah, I'm Aquarius, and my husband, who passed, but my husband was a Leo, and one of my best friends is a Leo. So it's usually it's like, I don't know, tea and crumpets, whatever else you can put together, peanut butter and jelly. But it's also, okay, Aquarius and Leo is heightened emotions. It is passionate. It is leadership. And of course, it can bring intense ego issues. Leo can be very domineering, but also very creative. Now, when we talk about Leo, Leo is a very, very strong force, but it can also represents things. As I mentioned before, it's kind of glamorous. Leo can be glamorous because it likes the spotlight. So that tells me, could also be, again, about the entertainment field or the monarchy, royalty, kings, queens, leaders. It represents fame, famous people as well. But Neptune has moved into Aries, and Saturn will move into Aries at 0 degrees. And I'll talk about that in a minute, which is very pivotal on February 13th. One of the things I do want to interject here is just tell everyone, because of everything that's going on, Terry Angel and I have created another, power packed workshop on it's coming Saturday, February 7, 1 to 3. You can check it out on EWN or on my Facebook page or on my website. And it's truth mapping. And honestly, we really packed a lot into it. And it's about your perceptions, how to step into your power, how to understand everything that's going on right now, and how you can make a shift in your life. And as long as there's a lot of people making shifts in their lives, it's going to shift the world. And it's looking at your perceptions, where they actually came from, and which ones need to change. Maybe you need a different perspective on things. So just circle that February 7th, Saturday from 1 to 4. So Tuesday, February 3rd, Uranus goes direct in Taurus, and that's about restructuring. It's about our financial security. It's about material stability. And what is Uranus? You know, I talk about Uranus a lot. It's innovation, but Uranus is also rebellion. So it creates this desire to break free from outdated ideas, from rigid ideas. And as I said, it is rebellion and it's unexpected shifts. It can be a bit volatile, so we'll see what goes on Tuesday. But as a reminder, even though I'm narrowing it down to these specific days, this energy can be before or after. So this month, all of these things that I'm talking about, you can expect to see. It just might not be on that exact date, but close enough to it. All right, what else do we have? February 6th, Mercury shifts into Pisces. And what is Mercury? Mercury is communication. Pisces is intuitive and imaginative. So it definitely creates the deep emotions, deep feelings. But what about Pisces? And what about Mercury? Mercury is head, thinking, communication. So but Mercury is in Pisces, so your thoughts can feel foggy as well as the information you receive. So there's some miscommunication, there's a little fogginess going on. But and on the other hand, it's very good for writing. So if you're a writer, if you're a writer, hopefully you're writing all the time. But February 6th, you might find some sparks of intuition or something like that. But yeah, it's a good for writing. It's also a day of miscommunication. I'm going to jump ahead to Sunday, February 8th. Venus, I believe that's a Super Bowl. Venus square Uranus. That's unexpected disruptions. Now, will that mean something in football? I don't know. And we'll see. But financially, around this time, finances can be volatile. It's also a new moon in Aquarius, and this new moon brings a very, very strong energy for innovation. And in contrast to February 6th, it can bring intellectual clarity and setting really bold intentions, like I'm going to do this. And hopefully that'll be right after we do the workshop. So it'll give everybody some impetus to get going. It's a great time for releasing old mental constructs. It's a great time for planting seeds for humanitarian projects. It's a great time for activating your inner rebel, but for positive change. Okay, so now Thursday, February 13th, we have Saturn enters Aries. This is a major shift. It's launching a 2-year cycle of what? What is Saturn? Saturn's a disciplinarian, right? He's the teacher, Lord of karma. And what's Aries? Aries likes to get things done quickly, and they go out there and they just do whatever it is they need to do. So again, this is a major shift, and it's launching a 2-year cycle of discipline, maturity, and I love this word, restructuring. And it's moving from the emotional depths of Pisces, which we love Pisces and we love the emotional depths of Pisces, but it can be very unclear at times about things. So we're moving from the emotional depths, getting more into our heads about what we need to do. And we're moving from Pisces into proactive, pioneering Aries. And that's going to last like into the last 2 weeks of February. February 16th, we have Mercury trine Jupiter, Sun square Uranus. Yeah, that's a little bit of restlessness, definitely some shifts going on in there. Monday, February 17th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius at 29 degrees. Now, what's that? That's breaking free. That's innovation. Apparently, from what I researched, this eclipse is prominent in a few political figures. So that can definitely cause some shakeups. And I was listening to, I like Steve Judd, he's an astrologer, and to quote him, he's going, heads might roll. So I don't know about that, but I do know that since it is prominent in some political figures, it's going to cause some shifts and some changes. And the eclipse portends some major changes. And it also has the possibility of reshaping our roles in community. It's definitely challenging outdated narratives. It's ushering in visionary alignment. And I love this. It's also called the Ring of Fire, not to be confused with the Ring of Fire in the Pacific. And interestingly, on the 17th, the 17th ushers in the year of the fire horse. So Venus is going to conjunct the North Node. I mean, I can't believe this. So much stuff going on. And when Venus conjuncts the North Node, this is going to set off an 18-month cycle of change that focuses community on technology and social innovation, lots of changes. So here's the really big deal. If this was all enough, right? Friday, February 10th, this is a big, big, big change. Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. Now, this is crazy. Saturn is structure. Neptune, again, is what? It's dreamy, it's ethereal. But Neptune also dissolves boundaries. And with Aries, well, Aries is impulsive and really firing. So I'm going to tell you the last time we had a similar, very, very similar conjunction, enough that I think it warrants talking about, of Saturn and Neptune, but it was in Capricorn, but it was in 1989, and we had some major transformations. But also, oh gosh, 1861 was the last time Neptune moved into Aries, and that's when the Civil War broke out. So hopefully that is not going to be the energy that is happening at this transit. So back to, I guess it was, 1959 was the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of the Cold War, pro-democracy protest in Tiananmen Square. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't that was 1989. Forgive me. The devastating Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. The Soviet withdrew from Afghanistan. And I have to throw in something much lighter. It was the first time that we saw the show Seinfeld. It debuted in 1989, which was one of my favorite shows. Anyway, in the medical physical field, what does this imply? Big changes, big events. This can be, on the very, very positive side, this can be our dreams starting to become a reality as well. Things starting to take place, maybe in just tiny ways, maybe in big ways, but it's our dreams. Because Aries is going to give Neptune feet, so to speak. I don't know how a better way to say it. it's going to give Neptune, okay, you've got these ideas and these beliefs, and we're going to put it into action, because Aries doesn't sit around and wait. It puts things into action. So moving forward, Saturday, February 22nd, we have Mars sextile Chiron and Venus trine Jupiter. And this is really kind of a sweet energy. And plus, I love the number 22. It's emotional, it's compassionate, it's a healing energy. And let's jump ahead to Friday, February 27th. And that's Mars square Uranus. And that can be a very disruptive time, volatile. Sometimes it's possible we can hear some shocking news or something going on that really surprises us. And Pluto will be conjuncting Mars. And I'm not sure how. No, it's conjuncting Mars. I'm not sure at what date, but that's very explosive energy as well. Oh, and I'm sorry. I think that is on the 20th. So all in all, we're experiencing this kind of these conjunctions. It's kind of creating this Genesis moment, merging structure with illusion. And it marks a time of really proactive, innovative, and potentially revolutionary societal shifts, personal shifts, spiritual shifts. And that's kind of what I'm harnessing my energy to. And we definitely are going to have major changes globally. And all of this is so needed. And you've heard it before, break down to break through. And that's what we're going through. So every month is going to be a different shade of breakdown to breakthrough. But we are seeing, at least I believe we're going to see, and we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So this month, I would say, definitely tap into your higher self, your creative side. What brings you joy? Focus on that, because there are, pockets of really positive energy this month, despite all the disruptions, and there is a lot. But again, tap into joy. What gives you joy? Is there a hobby you want to resurrect? Is there something that you just love to do? Whatever it is, tap into that joy this month. So that's globally, that's what's going on. A little snapshot in the world. But let's talk about your personal numerology. So I always try to make this pretty simple. And all I need everybody to do as you're listening to this, I just need you to take your month and day of birth, add it together, and reduce it to a single digit. Okay, so if your birthday is February 12th, you would add 2 for February, obviously, plus 1 plus 2, which equals the number 5. Got it? All right. Now there's one more step. Add the number 5 to the number for 2026, which is the number 1. Universally, we're under the influence of 1. So that is what's going to help to determine your personal month. So, and your personal year. Let me be more specific. So if you add that 1 to your month and day of birth, and we just added February 12th, which is a total of 5, add it to the number 1, and what do you get? You get the number 6. That's your personal year. Now, I want you to hold on to that. I'm not going to make you figure out your month, because I'm going to tell you what your personal month is based on your personal year. You got it? So easy, right? So I will figure out, I've already figured out your month number. So all you need to know, and listen carefully, all you need to know is your personal year. All right, so let's get going with that. And I do love the month of February. I do, I do, I do. All right, so let's, you've got your personal year, right? So I want to tell you, if your personal year is a number 1, your personal month for February is 3. And the 3 emphasizes self-expression, creativity, and happiness. So this is going to be a busy month, and you're likely going to be feeling enthusiastic and optimistic or overwhelmed. Now, understand the world is also under this number 1. So, because chances are you're going to be juggling more than a few things, this is the reason you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. Your creative juices should be flowing. The energy is dynamic, and your ability to lead is really enhanced this month. So, expressing yourself is especially important this month. You're magnetic, your ability to lead is enhanced. Expressing yourself is especially important in whatever ways you need to do that. You can use it to express a fresh new idea. You can use it to start a new project, or you can use it to speak your truth with clarity. And also, it's going to be magnetic. You may even need to get some things off your chest. And if you need to do that, of course, do it in a way that is not challenging, in a way that expresses how you feel. The month prioritizes independence, but it also prioritizes confidence. It's a powerful time for setting intentions, stand in your truth, take courageous steps towards your vision, and think about the things that I had just mentioned that bring you joy, and ask yourself, are you doing those things? So, write, dance, sing, create, express, have hope. Those are the keywords for you this month. And again, the number 3 also corresponds to the 3rd card of the tarot, the Empress, fertility, birth, abundance, creativity. And I would say your affirmation for this month is, I am the author of new beginnings. And a little tip, combine action with creative play and let others see your vision. So let's move on to, if your personal year is 2, then your personal month for February is the number 4. So what do we know about 4? Well, 4 is structured and practical. February's 3 energy may feel a little bit like a distraction to you, but it is needed, because this month you have to allow some room for laughter, for play, for creative problem solving, just to balance out the 4, which is kind of a grind, right? You'll probably realize early this month that your progress depends upon your willingness to work diligently. There's really a need to stay laser focused on things. And if you need help, be willing to ask for it. It's a month of a lot of details, but it's also good for teamwork. So you could feel like you're at a crossroads, and there could be a clash of personalities that might cause some concern, but just be willing to cooperate, listen to others, communicate your feelings. You may feel a little bit irritable and a little bit short on patience, but it's okay, because there's a lot of good energy to this month too. So avoid procrastinating, and this month be as organized as possible. 4 is really a good number for organization. And it also, the 4 corresponds to the 4th card of the tarot, which is the Emperor. Very masculine energy, very much about control, discipline, about creating order out of chaos. And so your affirmation this month can be, I build my dreams one grounded step at a time. And my tip for you this month, take breaks. Take breaks that restore your spirit and let joy be productive. All right, let's move on to, if your personal year is 3, then your personal month for February is 5. Now, this is fast moving, and it's a month full of ups and downs. And that, of course, is across the board, but very much so for you if your personal year is 3. So hang on to your hat. But it is a month that offers some freedom, and that freedom can come in many different forms. It's also a month of exploration and change. Both 3 and 5 are numbers of variety. They're numbers of creativity. They're numbers of adventure. And they're also numbers, especially 5, is anything can happen. So, although this month can bring some uncertainty and your feelings may run the gamut, it's okay. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. And your best option this month is to really, truly go with the flow. I mean, you might feel like, wait, what's happening now? Just be flexible. Just have that in mind. Be flexible. It's a great time, if this applies to you, if you're interested in it, to explore romance, new romantic options can pop up, creative options. But be very wary of 5 can also cause restlessness or emotional being too impulsive. So there's a saying that I really like: make plans, but don't plan results. Now that might sound crazy, but that's very appropriate for the month. Make your plans and say, okay, this is what I would like to do, but I'm open to how it's going to unfold. So you can expect the unexpected this month, and you might even be doing some short trip travel. 5 is really good for that. And the number 5 also corresponds to the 5th card of the Tarot, which is the Hierophant or the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is really interesting because it signifies a bridge between humanity and higher power, or the higher energies, man on earth and the higher energies. So it encourages us to again find balance, where spiritual beings having a human experience find the balance there, because those two things can be imbalanced at times. Your affirmation is, I embrace change as the path to my growth. And the tip I have for you is, say yes to new experiences, but stay grounded. All right, let's move on to, if your personal year is 4, then your personal month for February is the number 6. All right, so 4 and 6 together, you can have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders this month. That's what it feels like. Some of it, much of it, can have to do with family. You could feel somewhat restricted. Definitely keep an eye on your health. What do I mean by that? All right, try not to overwork, okay? It is a wonderful time for healing, and it's also a wonderful time for healing conversations. It's a wonderful time for fixing up, beautifying your home, your workplace. It can be an emotional month. Others can look to you for advice. Conversely, you can seek the advice of others, or seek counseling or coaching, or seeking outside help. This month also supports forgiveness and family connections. And it also supports creativity in relationships. So what does that mean? Well, that means you can be looking at your relationships in a different way, or it could be something that you and your partner or you and your friends come up with an idea, but it's a lot of creativity as well. It's also loyalty, and it might demand of you, you might have to sacrifice some time and energy for a loved one. Somebody needs your help. It's also a good time to attend to any home projects that I mentioned. You might be fixing up things. Actually, you may be thinking about starting some new project, whether that has to do with your home, but I guess it also could have to do with your career. If you're not involved in a relationship, or let's say a romantic relationship, it's really a good chance that you can meet someone in a 6 month. Very much has to do with home, family, marriage. Involved in a relationship, it could be a very nice month for you. When it also could be a month where you have to be willing to compromise. So February invites you, open up, share your feelings, explore artistic ways to connect with others. And the number 6 also corresponds to the 6th card of the tarot, which is the Lovers, appropriately enough. And that the 6 just symbolizes harmony, relationship harmony, but not just romantic. And it symbolizes life choices. 6 also, especially in the Lovers card, can mean making changes or having choices, needing to make changes and having different choices. So your affirmation for this month, if you would like this, is I radiate love and I create sacred connection. So that's a 4-year, and that is a 6-month. And the tip is practice loving communication and express gratitude often. And that is really what we all should be doing, right? Expressing gratitude often to keep us centered and raise our vibration. So moving on to if your personal year is number 5, then your personal month for February is 7, and that is a really interesting combination of odd numbers. They're very different. 7 asks for, well, it kind of is leave me alone. 7 asks for solitude, 7 asks for depth, and we got to throw the 3 in there because the 3 wants to share. And your 5-year is about change. So despite the overall busyness of a 5 personal year, and it is busy, this month with the number 7 asked you to slow down. The month calls for solitude, it calls for spiritual insight, and just quiet contemplation. You can use this energy to dive deep, by doing like journaling or meditation, going deep within, step up your intuitive practices, avoid rushing, allow clarity, because clarity rise from stillness. Your year this year, if you're in a number 5 year, is about change as well as expecting ups and downs. So it is a good month to think about the important areas of your life and what areas need to be changed. What mistakes from your past need to be changed. Okay. So you can find breakthroughs in journaling. You can have surprising revelations, do some dream work, spiritual art. Good month for study, good month for travel, good month to spend time near water if that's at all possible, or any kind of water. It could be getting a water fountain, putting that in your room or putting it in your intention space. And And by that, I mean, everybody really should have an intentions area in their home, someplace where they can quiet down. Um, the number 7 also corresponds to the 7th card of the Tarot, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot, I love the Chariot. It does symbolize victory, but it also symbolizes willpower. It symbolizes having control. It symbolizes having very determined forward movement. And it is about conquering any of those internal or external challenges that you might be going through. So even though 5 and 7 are very opposite numbers, you can harmonize it from the change, but what kind of change? Bring really deep felt changes that are needed in your life. And the affirmation is, in stillness, discover my soul's truth. And my tip is definitely with a 5, reflect before you speak and allow wisdom, as always, to guide your words. So let's move on to, if your personal year number is 6, then your personal month for February is 8. And that is 2 very powerful combos. And it's great. And if this applies to you, it's great for public speaking. It's great for marketing. It's great for very powerful, influential conversations. You can use the magnetism of the 3 month along with your 6 year and your 8 personal month to attract a lot of success. An 8 personal month and a 6 personal year will usually bring a focus on money, but also health and family. And there is some karma attached to the 8. There always is. It only means that more so than other times, destined situations can occur, as well as destined or karmic relationships can show up. It's a very, very potent month for aligning emotions with ambitions. And the 8 relates to what? Money and security, as well as power. But you can make very empowered decisions if you align yourself with this 8, step into leadership roles or step into any type of leadership situation and review your relationship with money, with self-worth, with influence. How are you with those words? How do those show up in your life? Organize, prioritize your life, because the 8 carries this really powerful balancing energy. And much of that, again, is going to be directed to your relationships. It can also bring a month of, however that applies to your life, relative to your life, of recognition and opportunity. And romance can be highlighted if you're so inclined. It's a good month for that. It's a power month. So the number 8 also responds to, or corresponds, I should say, to the 8th card of the Tarot, the Strength card. And that represents what? It represents courage, it represents compassion, but it also represents this gentle mastery over challenges. And your affirmation for this month is, I claim my power, I lead from the heart. And your tip is, express your vision publicly. Authentic charisma opens doors for you this month. So that's my tip for you. All right, let's move on to, if your personal year is the number 7, then your personal month for February is 9. This is definitely a month of forgiveness. It can bring emotional closure, which it can be endings and mendings. Old wounds can resurface to be healed. You can very likely feel a very strong pull to spend time alone or just withdraw. A 7 year automatically does that, but with the nine pull you inward or can push you outward. It's a time of reevaluating the choices and decisions you've made, and where are you in life? Are you happy with that? You can gain a lot of clarity and understanding your motivations and your needs better this month. It's very powerful for that. It's a very emotional month, or it can be. Let me say it can be an emotional month. And again, it can bring endings, and whether that has to do with relationships, or it could be the way of thinking, or it could even be a job. It could be you're changing your idea of what career you want. It's practical changes that are very necessary this month. But as a result, you can release some outdated habits, and you may have to distance yourself from some relationships. But it's a very philosophical month and a good month for long distance travel. It's a healing time as well. So create, speak, write, or if you have to, express yourself emotionally, cry if you need to, but it's good to get things out. But it's also a good time to go in to get things out. And the number 9 also corresponds to the 9th card of the tarot, which is the Hermit. And the Hermit symbolizes introspection, solitude, inner wisdom, and soul searching. And your affirmation is, I release the past with love, and I open myself up to what's next. And my tip is, articulate your feelings, feel your feelings, and move through them this month. Okay, so let's move on to, if your personal year is 8, then your personal month for February is the number 1. So that's an interesting combo, because the 8 and the 1, they're powerful and they're like, let's go. So you can be feeling really impatient to let me get on with things. The month urges you, and it pushes you or encourages you to take bold action. Your attention could very much be on finances and career, if that applies. Remember, your personal 8 year, this is a power year for you. It's going to slip by pretty quickly. So put yourself out there and seriously investigate all your different options on what you want to do with your life. Your leadership this month is infused with the number 1 and the number 3, which is charisma and charm. So you might feel or might see that you just like attract things to you. A very charismatic month for you. You may have to confront one of your fears, but that's followed by an opportunity to put that fear to rest once and for all. The month is courage, it's determination, it's inner strength, and all of those things are needed, and it'll make your 8 year and your February personal month really powerful and profitable. So avoid overpromising, avoid becoming too impulsive, because that 1 energy is also, and the 8 energy is, I got to do it. I got to get on with it. So the number 1 also corresponds to the first card of the tarot, which is what? The Magician. And the Magician, I love that card, represents manifestation, power, resourcefulness, and taking action. So your affirmation is, I am the author of new beginnings. And your tip is, combine all that action and that power with some creative play, and let others see your vision. So it's getting out there and putting yourself out there. And again, it's all relative to what's going on in your life. So for some, it's putting things out there on the world stage. For other, it's on, maybe a little bit of a smaller scale, but it's putting yourself out there. Now, if your personal year is 9, then your personal month for February is 2. Again, 9 and 2, pretty emotional, highly emotional, um, emotionally heightened, but also, again, healing. When those two things come together, there is a big focus on feminine energy. So you can feel, extra sensitive, extra intuitive. It's time to take a breath and slow down. Things might be working beneath the surface, so to speak. There's no need to really to struggle this month. I mean, with all that emotion, just kind of let it flow through you. Know that also teamwork is needed. So you might have to reach out to other people. There's no need to force anything because this month responds so much better, as most things, right? To persuasion rather than force. It's such a super time, such a great time to share your heart through either art or writings. Take up art, write something, or any even heartful conversations. What you do have to watch out for with this combo, though, is too much people pleasing. Watch out for mood swings, but it is a wonderful month for collaborating with others on projects, big or small. You you do need patience, you do need understanding, and you do need gentleness when you're dealing with others. The time to forgive, but also know you also may have to distance yourself from one or more relationships if necessary. Take a check on what's going on in your life and your emotions and who triggers you and what do you need to do. If there is somebody who really triggers you, what do you need to do to change that or to bring harmony to it or release it? The number 2 also corresponds to the second card of the tarot, the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is a symbol of intuition, subconscious wisdom, and the divine feminine. And she asks us to trust our inner knowing. So your affirmation for this month is, I honor my inner knowing and I trust divine timing. So your tip is practice kind, clear communication. Do not bottle things up and use humor or use music or something creative to help balance this sensitive energy. So those are all the numbers from 1 to 9 as far as your personal year, then your personal month. And I also want to say it's a really good time to get your chart done for the year to find out what is it going to bring you and find out what every month is going to bring you. So if you'd like to do that, go to my website, michellelanders.com, and you can find out a little bit more about what charts I have available, also about the upcoming February 7th truth mapping. So with that, I wish you all a blessed February, lots of love sending your way, and lots of really good energy. Tap into that 3, creative energy.
Michelle, thank you so much information that you've given us here. I've got pages of notes.
Yes.
Pages. So it looks like it's going to be quite an interesting month. And I love the
Yes.
title, Cosmic Clarity, Reclaiming Our Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. There's so much, the energy is crazy that's out there right now. It is not just astrologically, numerologically, and I also love the tarot cards play into it. But it is full of energy this month in so many ways. So yeah, it's a time for us to use that cosmic energy, the numerology, the astrological energy that's going on to bring us clarity. And if we look deep enough, we're going to find clarity for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also a good reminder to guard your energy and start your day with grounding and centering and connecting in with your spiritual guides and your spiritual truth. Just because there's all of this energy going on doesn't mean you have to be drug around by it. So get yourself centered and stay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michele, thank you very, very much. And friends, thank you for being here. We pray that you have a great month, and we'll plan on seeing you March 1. So take good care. God bless. We'll see you all soon. Bye now.